there was probably a month period where that was the only sponsorship I saw. And I don't know if that was just because
it might have been a little longer than a month.
That honestly, you might be right, but I don't know. But see, the thing is they flooded. They partnered with like every creator.
Anybody that wanted a sponsorship, I bet you they could have reached out and just got a sponsorship from these guys. It was kind of ridiculous for a while.
Hey guys, how's it going today? It is Preston Schleiss back with another episode of Marketing Mayhem. Today, I'm joined by Jonathan Lutz.
Hi.
Jonathan, tell me a little bit about your marketing experience.
I am a complete newcomer, but I am so ready to learn, and I am absolutely enthralled. Here we go.
Awesome. I am so glad to hear that. John, I love your passion. And ladies and gentlemen, John has joined us for a very interesting episode. Today, we're going to be talking about the power of influencers in marketing. And just for context, I will say I will be using the Glad company as an example throughout this episode. So just keep that in mind, all right? So with that said, let me get right into the first topic. We're going to be talking about, well, what are sponsorships and how do you go about getting them? So sponsorship, for those of you who don't know, is when a company approaches an influencer and they basically say, hey, we'll pay you X amount of dollars to just give us a shout out or give a little rundown of our business, basically plug in our advertisement into your video. And it's a little different than traditional marketing in the sense that the advertisement isn't separate from the video. The influencer incorporates it into the video. So it adds this extra depth and layer to the advertisement. It lets it really connect with the audience a little bit better. And
sometimes influencers who are sponsored actually get like a percent of the cut that they sell. So for example, let's say, and they are advertising their resealable bags. Let's say, okay, they push out like 200 more bags get sold because of this ant farm. They get like 10% of that pay. So that's like whatever 10% of those bags are straight into their account, which is pretty cool.
It's a pretty big incentive, and it definitely really hooks a lot of influencers because that money, like John is saying, is really awesome, especially for those influencers, and it helps them attract better deals, which is it's good. It's very advantageous all around the board. Companies get a really good marketing tool, and the influencers get a little extra money, and their video cost and production cost goes down or gets covered. So it's a win-win situation, really. So that's the brief explanation of sponsorships and how they relate to influencers. So I'll be moving on to our next topic, which is different platforms for influencers. And there are a dime a dozen. I mean, off the top of my head, YouTube, Twitch.
I brought up YouTube already. There's like Hulu. I mean, there's
Twitter, Instagram,
I'm
Snapchat,
sure
any social media, really.
Yeah, you guys are listening to whatever right now.
Probably
getting sponsored.
Exactly.
Who knows, man?
Exactly. So anywhere you consume media, there is the potential and opportunity for an influencer to exist there and potentially make a sponsorship deal with a company. So, which is really something cool about this age of technology that we're living in, is just the boundless opportunities for people and companies to pursue their marketing or pursue their goals in different ways through different platforms. It's really something unique, and it's a really awesome time for marketing. With that said, I'm going to do a bit of the Glad tie-in here. So with the 2 points we had just discussed, I think it's important to say that I've been looking over Glad, and they really don't have an influencer
social
presence.
Media presence in general.
Yeah, and I think that's a really missed opportunity for Glad. Me and John were talking about before we started the podcast how we thought that Glad could. There were so many influencers that Glad could partner with to expand and tap into those influencers.
Honestly,
markets.
if they put out an ad on any streaming service, anything really at all, it would help out their marketing like tremendously.
And we had even talked about John had actually pitched an idea to me. And do you mind if I say it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, awesome. Because
Totally.
it was actually kind of a genius idea. He had mentioned to me he had seen some YouTube videos where this group of guys, they would go around, they would find hoarders, right? And they would come in and kind of assess their home, and if the hoarder was ready, they would clean it out for them for free. And John thought that would be a great opportunity for Glad if they would partner with Glad. Then Glad could so Glad would sponsor the video. They would provide all these garbage bags, all this cleaning equipment, and it would really cause this really nice tie-in for Glad with the community and really increase that rapport. So that was something cool we had talked about prior to the show. Let's move on to our next topic, which is actually a question for John. So John, what types of ads, or how should I say, sponsorships have you seen recently in YouTube? Because I know YouTube is really popular for sponsorships.
Can I mention other brands or not?
Yeah, that's fine.
So recently, in YouTube at least, there's been a lot of G Fuel sponsorships, and a lot of Raid Shadow Legends. So
that's actually very interesting.
That and Dollar Shave Club and
I think HelloFresh.
HelloFresh.
I've seen a lot of and Squarespace.
Yeah.
I've seen. It's really interesting because we can kind of talk about. I want to talk about Raid Shadow Legends a little bit because there was probably a month period where that was the only sponsorship I saw. And I don't know if that was just because
it might have been a little longer than a month.
That honestly, you might be right, but I don't know. But see, the thing is they flooded. They partnered with like every creator.
Anybody that wanted a sponsorship, I bet you they could have reached out and just got a sponsorship from these guys. It was kind of ridiculous for a while.
They heavily targeted the gaming community. Any video related to video games or anything in that realm, there was a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor. 100%.
They didn't even have to have like a video game related video at the time. As long as their channel was like somewhat gaming related, it would get a sponsorship from Raid, and it was just preposterous for an amount of time. They were basically monopolizing the marketing over YouTube.
Yeah, and it was funny because it became a joke in the community, and now everyone remembers their sponsorships like more begrudgingly, but still they know of. If you say Raid Shadow Legends, someone will know what you're talking about.
Someone will usually crack a smile or a laugh.
And it's very interesting because I feel like this is kind of an underutilized marketing tactic. I think that any company, especially Glad, like if you make like even almost a funny, like really catchy sponsorship pitch to an influencer, and that using that influencer to target their market, and then create some type of like almost funny joke or very rememberable thing about your sponsorship. I think any company could really take advantage or
learn from Raid.
Be profitable in that aspect. And that hence the tie-in is that I feel like Glad could do something very similar, where maybe not the same market, obviously. Maybe they would target more like the cooking, food, like DIY stuff. But I definitely think they could do something very similar. I don't know exactly how they would do that, but that's just my thought anyways. And then finally, our last topic, we're going to kind of shy away from the more influencers. I'm going to talk about some popular influencers that I've seen. And I got to start it off with Mr. Beast. By far, if you know anything about Mr. Beast or Beastables, you'll know that Mr. Beast is 100% cashing in on his audience on YouTube. This guy pulls in over 100 million views on each video, and he's done such a remarkable job with it, because he uses philanthropy as basically his rapport, right? People know him as the guy who gives away money. His product, his business he started off of the back of his success on YouTube, Beastables. One of the big draws of those is you can have a chance to win items, right? You buy a Beastable bar, you have a chance to win $5, $10, $100, a car, a chance to meet Mr. Beast. It's crazy. It's preposterous. He's made such a name for himself. He's become a household name, right? If I'm sure everybody listening to the podcast will know Mr. Beast, or will know him in some way or form.
I'm sure someone's at least heard of. I mean, you have to have heard of him. He's everywhere.
Exactly. And I mean, and he's done such a genius idea. If you ever listen to him on podcasts, other than this one, he's literally said that his most popular and honestly brilliant idea is he translates his videos into other languages, right? He translates them into Spanish, German, a bunch of Chinese, Japanese, and he says those videos just increase his overall views and reputation. Like if you go to Japan, or you go to Mexico and you say Mr. Beast, they'll know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's become an international sensation, and I think he's used his fame and his influence to market his product geniusly. And I really think that companies should be looking to do something similar, where they have this personality, right?
Yeah.
And their customers don't know them by when they hear a company, they don't think of a product, they think of a person.
Yeah.
Right. And
so tying back to GLAAD, like would really benefit from having like a show or some type of like
person,
entertainment to help push their marketing. Like, for example, they could even have a show where, like, they test their garbage bags with, like, different materials, and then you could see, like, the quality of their product, and it would overall just, like, increase sales.
Exactly. And, like, tying back to what I said about Mr. Beast, like, when you think of his product, when I think of Beastables, I don't think of a chocolate bar, I think of Mr. Beast, right?
Yeah.
And that takes away the materialistic of it. It's more of, like, a relationship. And people all know that you're more likely to buy something if you have a good feeling about it, and people have
good connotation, good connection.
Good connection, and people have a good connection with Mr. Beast. So that was all my points, and as you can see, I did tie in with GLAAD, because I do think that I really wish they would try some of this with the influencers, at least, because I really think they could capitalize on that marketing space. And I really believe they have a great product, right? Durable, reliable, odor eliminating. I mean, what more could you ask for with a garbage bag? And they have a great line of products, and I really think they could capitalize on it. So, all right, John, thank you. Thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, thank you for having me on the podcast, man.
Of course, dude. It's always great to hear from people, and I hope you learned something, and I hope you can take away something from this podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, guys, I'm going to call it. You guys have a great rest of your day, and everyone take it easy.
Bye, guys.